ballena agarrada, metida entre las piedras de Chipiona, del faro. Y cuando entro en el restaurante me ve el cocinero con una paellera y a ver la vez paellera.
Oh boy, what a day, what a day. What a day. I've been trying all day to fly an airplane. All day. All day to fly an airplane. I just been busy. I'm busy. You know how days off go sometimes. Sometimes your day off just don't go the way you expect it to. Well, I cut a lot of the bullshit out at the beginning of this. We are right at runway 10, ready to get our takeoff clearance. We're getting ready to let them know we're holding short runway 10. We're going to take off, and I have Chad holding the comms down while we take off. We are going to redo this flight that we did last week, where we had that. I don't know if you remember, we did land. It took a while, but that was in that soupy fog where like in that island in the Azores where we like could not see the runway for like 200 feet. Like we were 200 feet above ground when we could first see it. We are going to be doing a flaps 35 landing today. I was doing some research, and I believe this runway we're going to be landing at is the correct type of runway for flaps 35. Now, if you look, I mean, like, look at the discrepancy between 15 and 35. There's a big difference. So it's much heavier, you know, much more predicated on throttle. You know, you need to keep the throttle very consistent when you're landing at flaps 35. But since this is smaller than 6,000 meters for landing, it is a good idea to fly with flaps 35 coming in for landing. So anyways, let's get our clearance. Let me pull up say intentions. Actually, let me oh, I closed say intentions. Holy shit. Give me a second here. Gotta do display capture for this. Shit, I didn't mean to close say intentions. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, so it's still on Copilot. Let's wait for it to connect. Come on, baby. Do your thing, baby. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow. I want to get a clip of Wings of Redemption saying either subscribe, follow, and get off my shit. He says something like that. I'll have to find out what he says. I know what he says. I need to get a clip of it. I think that would be funny to play every once in a while. All right. Yeah. What are we doing here? Okay, so we have 118 Horta Tower. Okay, 118. Let's get clearance. Horta Tower, SATA 570, holding short runway 10, ready for departure. Holding short runway 10, ready for departure. Horta Tower, set 570, holding short runway 10, ready for departure.
Can you repeat that?
I'm trying to get departure clearance. We are holding short runway 10.
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot, runway 10, winds 110 at 10, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 10 cleared for takeoff. SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot.
All right, let's roll. Let me just make sure our props actually move forward. Yes, they do. Hang on a second. I got to get our... All right, we should be good now. All right, brakes released. Takeoff power set. Airspeed's alive. Shit, we never did V-speeds. There's our V-speeds now. 100 knots. Q1 rotate. Try to eliminate some of that prop wash. All right, airspeed's alive. You're airborne. Put up our landing gear. All right, let's make our turn towards our flight plan today.
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot, contact departure on 120.6.
Switching to departure on 120.6. SATA Charlie Sierra
We're getting ready to
Tango
go
Romeo Foxtrot.
props for climb speed. There we go. All right, props are in climb mode. Let's nose down a little bit.
SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot. Good afternoon, climbing through 500.
SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot, Horta approach identified. Climb flight level 100, turn left heading 265, vectors to H3829er, then on course.
Climb flight level.
All right, now I'm still holding on to
left heading 265,
the yoke.
vectors to H3829. Then
We're
on
slowly
course.
letting it
SATA
go
Charlie
back.
Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot.
Let's increase our IAS to 210.
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot, climb flight level 160.
Climbing flight level 160, SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot.
So we'll stay in heading mode until we get into until we get to our next location. We can turn off auto feather and the pumps. I want to say
SATA
our
Tango Romeo Foxtrot, direct H3829er, then as filed, please.
I want to say our I forget what I'm trying to say right now. Oh, hey, what's up, dude?
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot, contact Santa Maria Radar.
Yeah, no face cam.
129.4.
Contacting Santa Maria radar.
I might put it back on at some point, but I like having it off right now.
Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot.
Nobody tunes in to see my face, dude.
Santa Maria radar, SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot.
Nobody cares
Good
what I look
afternoon,
like.
5000 for flight level 160.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was trying to fly all day. I just got too busy.
Santa Maria radar identified. Good afternoon.
The two main reasons I'm not really touching ATC controls on this flight is, one, it's very difficult to pronounce these names and I don't want to sound like an idiot, and two, there's no like tablet or anything I can pull up on screen other than their actual app, and I don't like doing that because I can't just like alternate, you know, tab to hide it. I actually have to like minimize it, and while that doesn't sound like a big deal, it is for me. I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. Alright, so let's put ourselves in, let's see here. Now we might have to input a holding pattern in here into the flight management system. I don't think we're going to have to. The weather looks pretty good today. But we'll show you how to input one into the system here. Pretty easy, actually. This flight management system makes it pretty easy. Alright, we're pretty much above clouds. We can... We never opened the air intakes. Oh shit, I'm glad there was no birds. You're supposed to keep them open for a while. Everything looks okay. That's our nav mode. Alright, let's reduce our speed. Yeah, flaps 35 landing today. Let's do maneuver. Holding, we're going to do hold at Obuda. And we're going to have the inbound at like 3:30. That means our outbound is 150. We're doing right-hand turns, 1 minute between. Now this system will automatically give you options. If direct entry is not right, it'll give you parallel or teardrop automatically, which is pretty dope, I think. Alright, so we got the holding just in case. I don't think they're gonna have us hold. They're probably gonna have us just go right to the landing. Did I even activate it? Oh yeah, arm hold. Okay, there we go. Now it's armed. And it'll show us in our flight plan as well. Alright, we are almost at 16,000 feet. Yeah, the last time we flew this airplane on this flight, we could not see the runway until about 200 feet above ground. And while we did make that landing, it took us about 5 tries to make that landing just because we were flying next to a mountain the whole time. And it was tough. It was a very tough landing. They probably, I think in real life, they probably would have had us go around. Or not go around. They would have had us go to, you know, our alternate airport. Because like there was no way. Like the only item you have to help navigate you to the runway is just an ADF needle. That's it. Like there's a ADF station. That's about it. And you know, now you do have the the lights on the runway to help you with your vertical guidance, but you have to be able to see those lights. And when you can't see anything until you're about 200 feet above ground, then that makes it a little tough. We are almost.
Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot Santa Maria radar. I'll start your descent in about 15 minutes.
Sounds good. Alright, and let's go ahead and plug in our LPFL, I think. Yep, Flores. Yeah, see, here's one approach. Here's our hold in a Buddha that I was just talking about. So oh, it's on a 350 hold. All right, well, let's change that. It's very easy to do. Let's go. Nav, maneuver. Let's change inbound to 350. That'll automatically change the outbound and return. All right, and we can go direct to it if we want to. All right, all this is done. Yeah, see, we just have, see, like this localizer, it's just distance. It doesn't give you any like lateral guidance. At least it didn't last time we did. But see, when we came in last time, we were coming in on this runway coming from the north on down. So we were flying next to these mountains the whole time trying to see this here runway, and it was like tough. It was tough, that's for sure. Let me program in the ADF just in case. Let's see here, LAM, what is that altitude they have there for the hold? Minimum height's 4,500. Okay, and we have 331. And we are looking at 1120. Let's set our decision height for 10.6. So we have 1016 and 4,500 and 331. Well, we need to pull our throttle back a little bit. And I do have both throttles set, you know, differently. I have the props on one lever, but I do have the throttle separated as usual. All right, what was that number again? Did I say it was 331? Yeah, 331. Let's put that in ADF. Oh, it's already got it in there. Very good. All right, minimum, we have 4,500 here. And for decision height, I believe this is only going to go to 1,000. I have to scroll this the whole time. That's really annoying. It's the little things. Again, I just hold the button and have it spin for me. Yep, 1,000. Okay, and then we can click on this again and get our V speeds. We got 76 to a Buddha. On our way to the Azores. Yep, haven't bought anything new yet. Still on the fence. I think the next plane I'm gonna get is a 757. I decided the next plane I'm gonna get is definitely gonna be for X-plane. I think X-plane is just, I don't know how to describe it other than it's just awesome. Just be able just to get in and just start flying. Like, there's no real big loading screens. It's like none of the bullshit that Microsoft has. It's like the best of Microsoft and like none of the worst. But yeah, I think the 757, I really want that new Learjet to launch finally in the marketplace for Microsoft. We have the Learjet already. We have the 2020 version from FlySimware, but the upgraded one that's now available for native 2024, it's not available in the Microsoft store yet. At least it wasn't yesterday when I looked. Maybe it's available today. But usually if it launches on somebody's website, usually it's like 2 weeks until it hits the Microsoft Store. Which is horseshit, I think. Now, I did do a practice run on this landing before I started tonight. And it wasn't too bad, actually. Kept the power around, I want to say it was 23% on the throttle. And you easily see the lights on the runway because, you know, it's so clear out today. Oh shit, we should have put our props in cruise. My bad. I saved that fuel. Yeah, these other FlyJ Sim planes, I really wish that FlyJ Sim came out with new updates for like the 732, because I really want to buy that 737-200 they have. It's just it hasn't been updated in like 4 years, and I'm like, man, I do not want to spend, you know, $50, $60, $70 on anything that hasn't been updated in 4 years. I mean, what the hell, man? Who wants to do that? Not when there's so many choices out there. The other 737 that's available, I've talked about it before. It's like iFlex, or I forget the company that makes it. I can look it up real quick, but it is on our Discord channel. But that one looks pretty dope. I know iFly is supposed to have a new update come out soon for its 737 model. I can't wait for that. I know Bluebird just had an announcement recently. That's still happening, man. I just hope the hype around some of these airplanes when they come out, I hope the hype is worth it. Because sometimes you get these airplanes and then, you know, by the time you get them, it's like, man, it's not really worth the wait. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not so much. Alright, Earl looks good. MCR looks good. But yeah, I woke up late this morning. It's my day off. And then I got a late start to run a couple errands, and then I came back, and since I've been on this this diet, I usually cook. I've been eating these these burritos, and I found a recipe on Weight Watchers, and then I kind of turned it into my own thing with my own ingredients. But like, there's like no like I can eat pretty much as many of these burritos every day as I want, and like I'm okay. Like on their program, but it takes a while to cook. I use like a whole head of Napa cabbage, and I put some bok choy in it. We have shredded carrots. We have a few cups of sweet peppers, you know, mini sweet peppers. Really hot jalapenos, a few of those in there. And then I usually take like a cup of chicken broth, or, you know, a couple of cups of filtered water, and then just simmer all those vegetables, you know, kind of like steam them. And then as the water is starting to, you know, evaporate, add a bunch of seasonings, a bunch of spices. You know, not a ton, but, you know, some cumin, some Moroccan paprika, a little bit of chili powder, salt and pepper, a little bit of white wine. And then this time, and I usually try different proteins with it. Like a couple of times before, I had like eggs and black beans.
Charlie, Sierra Tango, Romeo Foxtrot, Santa Maria, radar, contact Flores, approach on 125.39er.
Switching to Flores approach, SATA Charlie, Sierra Tango, Romeo Foxtrot. Good morning.
There's our ADF needle, I believe.
160.
Yep.
SATA Charlie, Sierra Tango, Romeo Foxtrot, Flores approach, expect the visual runway 18 approach into Flores.
Yep. That's what I planned.
Expect the visual for runway 18 approach into Flores, SATA Charlie, Sierra Tango, Romeo Foxtrot.
today I decided to, instead of black beans and eggs, I put in black beans and like this shredded steak that I found at the store. And so with the steak, I take usually like a tablespoon of minced garlic. I saute the shit out of the garlic in a little bit of oil, a little bit of Earl. And then once the garlic's like halfway done, I'll throw in the steak. And then with the steak, while it's in the pan sauteing with the garlic, I throw in some Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of light soy sauce. And then just a touch of white wine or red wine, depending on what I have available for cooking. Yeah, and then when the meat's done, I just add it to the mixture. Now at this point, the mixture, like I've already pulled it out. Sometimes I add a little bit of flour to the water that's left over and kind of turn it into a little bit of a gravy. This time I didn't. But I do take a whole bunch of no-fat cheese and I put in like half a package of it, of the shredded cheese. I guess it's cheese. It doesn't say cheese food on it. I just found out today that like those Kraft singles, like that we grew up eating, like it's only 45% cheese. And the rest is not cheese. The rest is other stuff. But, yeah. So yeah, and then I usually buy these carb-friendly.
Whenever you'd like descend, flight level 110.
Descending flight level 110, SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot.
110. Now, typically we would have gone in and done VNAV on our, like we would have set up VNAV.
Romeo Foxtrot, descend altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1012.
There's really no reason to do that today.
Descending to 4,000 feet, QNH 1012, SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot.
I don't believe that UNH, by the way. All right, so we have 4,000 feet. Plug that in. Let's see what this is saying for. I see 1014. That, I believe that over say intentions, unfortunately. They've been wrong too many times. There's our minimum descent height. I think it's still a little early to ask them about the holding pattern. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Flores approach is who we're talking to. Flores approach, SATA 570. Are you gonna have us do the holding pattern at our next waypoint?
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot, no holding at next waypoint. Continue approach.
Alright, let's get rid of that holding pattern then. See here. Well, here we're going to do runway 18. And then this we have
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot, turn right heading 325 vectors for the visual runway 18 approach.
Right heading 325 for the visual runway 18 approach. SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot.
Alright, which way did they have us turn again? What did he say? Turn right 325. Okay. Alright, you say so. You say so, say intentions. Shit, we never turned off the standby hydraulics and PTU. Oh well. Alright, we don't really have to do anything until approach. And then we just have to turn on auto feathering, tanks 1 and 2. And then you could turn on this reduced top landing if you really wanted to. This button right here. What that'll do is that'll push that button while we're approaching and we're below 50% torque. What'll happen is it'll take these props and it'll program them to be at max. I'm sorry. You hit the button and then you take your props and throw them all the way up to max. However, it leaves the power setting at 850. And then if you're doing a go around and the system sees that you go above 50% torque, then it'll automatically increase the power to max on the fly. But they have that option so you can be a little quieter when you're coming in for landing. Yeah, this is a good day for a landing today. Not like last time, man. Last time it was all, which was cool. I liked it. There was somebody new that was watching, and they were trying to get me to go to a different airport or turn the weather off. I'm like, no, man, this is the fun part. Like, I don't care if, we don't, it takes us 5 or 6 tries to get a good landing. I just want to try. I just want to land at this airport. Like, it can be done.
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot, turn right heading 335.
Shit.
Right heading 335, SATA Charlie Sierra Tango, Romeo Foxtrot.
Yeah, we are almost at 4,000 feet. I tried to have like ChatGPT, the Microsoft version of ChatGPT that is on Windows. I tried to get them to create a thumbnail today for me, but just to give it a try, but I didn't like the options that they had. It was close. It was close. I just couldn't get them to. I wanted less words in the title. All right, let's reduce our descents. And let's go direct to airport. Sweet. Alright, so we are at 4,000 feet. Move our power back. Try to stay, I think, somewhere around 210, somewhere in that area is probably good. We're only about 20 miles from the airport. One of the problems that I've had with say intentions is that when they vector you like this, they usually vector you so close to the airport. I really think that they're going to have us turn with probably less than 5 miles to go. We're at a good height, I don't care. I just don't want to have to dive in going into this airport. I'd like to, I'd like to be able to do it smoothly. I don't want to have to dive bomb this airport. If I was the air traffic controller, I would have just had this ADF needle. If it's like 350 as the heading, I would just have us fly in a direction to when this gets to like 340, 340 degrees. The ADF needle then start making our right-hand turn towards the... But it looks like right now we're kind of like... the wind is pushing us a little bit. Which I understand why they have us... turned into the wind a little bit, but our ADF needle's right here. It's like we're like heading right to it. So unless they vector us to the left, which they could do. They've done that before. With other airports. Where they'll vector you to the left. They had an update, I think today was the update, and this update, they changed a lot. The app that we typically have, this app here, it used to have a lot of menus. Now it only has 3 menus now. All the rest of the settings is on their website, which I don't like. I don't like, to be honest, say intentions. I don't like that. I liked it before when it was all in here. I liked it. It was all in one space. The pilot portal's okay. For the settings, but I liked a lot of that kind of stuff that you had in there before, like choosing the co-pilots.
Turn right heading 350.
Turning right heading 350, SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot.
See, that's interesting. I set it up the way they asked me to, where we had the flight, the ICAO and the flight number. I usually do it with the call sign and the tail number, and that's what they just used. But when I set it up, I don't know. It could have been my error. Maybe I just misread it. I don't think I did. I'm pretty good at reading. Like, I understand what I was reading. Dude, what's up, dude? Got all that Earl in there. You're not one of those Venezuelan drug ships, are you? Watch out, Trump gonna get you. Like 2 big old batteries just sitting back there. Now we are only 10 miles out. I'm thinking we should probably start slowing down a little bit. Here's the airport over here, and I thought we were landing on runway... Wait, did they say 18 or did they say 26? Or 36? We're landing on runway 18. Okay, that's cool. That's the same runway from before. Alright. That makes sense how they got us going now. Yeah, there's them clouds again, man. Hopefully it's not too cloudy. There's the airport right over here on the side. Alright, let's put our fuel pumps on. Actually, I'm going to turn the auto feather off for now, just in case we give it a fair amount of juice. I think the checklist said only use auto throttle if we're below, I mean only use auto feather if we're below 50% torque. All right, there's our airport over here.
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot, turn right heading 005.
Right heading 005, SATA Charlie Sierra Tango, Romeo Foxtrot.
You know what? Let me put my landing gear up if they're gonna do this. They're taking us farther out. We might as well put our landing gear up for now. And our flaps. They might be taking us out to this island again, which is about 10 miles out. They might be taking us around that island. Yes, this time, I was just saying that at least this time I can see the runway. That is true. Yeah, we should be okay this time, I think. As long as I can see the runway, I think we'll be okay. I hope it's starting to get real cloudy again. I hope we'll be able to see it. Alright, say intentions. What we doing, buddy?
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot, turn left heading 275.
Left heading 275, SATA Charlie Sierra Tango, Romeo Foxtrot.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Take us over that mountain. There's our runway back here.
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot, 7 miles from the approach turn. Turn left heading 225, descend altitude 3, 100 feet until established. Cleared for the visual runway 18 approach.
heading 225. Descend to 3,100 until established. Cleared. Visual runway 18 approach. SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot.
Probably should have put those on earlier.
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot. Contact Flores Tower on 118.8.
Contacting Flores Tower on 11. Horta Tower, SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot. Good afternoon. Established on the visual runway 18 approach.
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot, roger. Continue approach runway 18. Report established.
Horta Tower, SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot. Good afternoon. Established on the visual runway 18 approach.
SATA Charlie Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot. Horta Tower. Winds 360 at 9er. Runway 29er. Cleared to land.
Runway 29er, cleared to land. SATA
Alright,
Charlie
my control.
Sierra Tango Romeo Foxtrot.
At some point, I would like to see the runway a little bit. I'm just going to keep on descending as close as I can to 3%, which should be around 700 feet per minute. We need to get closer to the island. Okay, yeah, we need to get closer to the island. Start slowing down a bit. Act just in time.
Minimums.
We're a little high.
Terrain. 40, 30, 20, 20, 10.
That was a hard landing. Well, I don't necessarily agree, but being that we're getting ready to kill ourselves, let's let's do that landing one more time.
SATA Tango Romeo Foxtrot. Taxi to apron and stand.
I think now we'll be able to see the okay, let's see here. We have okay, and we are doing runway 18, 10 miles from approach. Confirm, and we need to start with our engines on again. Yeah, Flores Airport. Lima Papa Foxtrot Lima. It's tough, man. It's a tough landing. Yeah, in Portugal. Yeah. All right, we should butter it. I don't know about butter it, but we should be okay this time.
Sink rate, terrain, sink rate, terrain.
We didn't descend as we probably should have. We probably should have did a better job descending. But with no vertical guidance, I really couldn't see the runway lights for a while. Yeah, we just need to fly close to this runway here. I mean runway. Close to this mountain here. We're still leaving it at flaps 35. Now, the other day, we couldn't see anything on the ground until we were literally like 200 or 300 feet above the ground. It was crazy. Like right now, it was just all clouds. Couldn't see anything. You couldn't even see the mountain the other day. Like that's how cloudy it was. Oh yeah, I know. I don't make shit up like that. Not especially when it's so easily findable. You can just go right to the video and watch it. Let's go flaps 10. Oh no. No, there's no instruments for this field. Not unless you count an ADF needle and instrument. That's the only instrument that's available. Like right now, I know that there's lights there. I just can't see them. Oh shit. I did that last time too at first. I got mixed up where the runway was. Alright, let's leave our power somewhere around 30. I think that'll be fine. Maybe a little bit lower, maybe like 27. Here we go. Still a little high.
Sink rate, terrain.
No.
30, 20, 10.
All right. Let's go around one more time.
10, 40, 100.
All right. Let's try to get this again. Change location. Flores. That's not Flores. Flores, runway 18. 10 miles out again. Confirm. All right. We're going to land it this time. Okay.
Terrain.
Yes. Right. Yeah. It's considered instrument flying if this was like 1965. If it was a clear day, this would be a very easy landing. But not being able to see any of the lights to really gauge my height, that's the tough part. Now let's just get down closer to sea level now. Four miles out. Reduce our speed a little bit. All right, flaps 35. I can see the runway. We're lined up pretty good. Now I just need to see if I can see any red lights or white lights. All right, let's leave our power setting where it is there at 28 or 26, whatever that is. I think that's close enough. You don't really want to mess too much with the power when you're landing flaps 35. You pretty much want to leave it set. I know I just said don't move the power, but we were a little too low. I mean, a little too high.
Sink rate, terrain, terrain.
20, 10.
Oh, all right, one last time. We're gonna get it this time. Boy, I wish I could go back to before I streamed tonight, because that was a good landing before I got on tonight. I gotta show everybody that I mean business. No, I'm just kidding. Let's do one more time. Yeah, empty landing speeds. No, I need to get the... I need to be able to... I think I'm just going to get down to like 500 feet, I think, and I'm just going to stay at 500 feet above sea level right now.
Sink rate, terrain, terrain.
All right, dude, Jesus, man. Got you. I think if I could stay 500 feet above, at least.
Sink rate.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Right, that's what I was thinking. Because I had to kind of dive bomb that last one. All right, there we go. We're about 500 now. It's like landing an F-14. So you do one circle at 1500, one circle at 300.
Too low, terrain, 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 too low.
Oh my God, buddy.
Terrain, too low, 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 terrain.
All right. I think I can see the runway a little bit. Yep. All right, let's go flaps 35. See, that first landing I did when I landed on the other runway before I streamed tonight just to practice flaps 35, like the whole time I could see the PAPI lights. No problems. I didn't have to touch the throttle. I could leave the throttle alone, like we were good. See, our speed's good now. I can just keep our descent somewhat proper. We should be okay. Oh, I'm not even lined up with the runway properly. Shit. Shit. Let's get over there. Yes, I know I'm too much to the right. Yes. That's how they vectored us. Yep, that's how they were vectoring us. They said, get over on that side. Get as close to the mountain as possible. I was like, yes, sir. No problem. No problem, Captain. I got you.
Terrain.
20, 10.
Boy, that was almost a really good landing. That was almost really good. All right, we're going to go one last time just to see if I can get it below 300, which I should be able to. I've done plenty of landings with this plane under 300, but let's see if we can do it this time. But that was pretty good, man. That was I think that was a better choice to get down like to 700 feet, 500 feet earlier. I bet you a lot of pilots that fly this plane don't land it at minus 300 often. I've watched a lot of landings in this airplane, and there are a lot of, you know, very hard landings on this airplane. But we need to get below 300. For me to be happy with the landing, we need to get below 300. I'm not like a snob or anything, but like, you know, I've flown enough in these simulators. I should be minus 300 on everything. Might take a few tries. And again, that's, I think, part of the problem of flying different airplanes all the time. But that's also one of the fun things about flying airplanes all the time, too, is that you get to practice with all these wonderful airplanes.
Too low terrain, 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 too low terrain.
Come on.
Too low terrain, too low terrain, too low terrain.
Thank you. Yep. The only vertical guidance we got with this is just the lights on the runway. The only lateral guidance we got is pretty much the mountain and an ADF needle. And we really can't see the lights until we're, what is it, like a mile? 2 miles out, maybe? Alright, we're gonna do it this time. We've had a few practice runs now. We should be able to knock this out now. Very hard to not want to touch the throttles, but that's what they say. They being pilots that I've read about, like, and that I've watched them like do like you know, like instructions on this airplane. I've been fascinated with this airplane for a long time. I've been flying this airplane for probably close to 10 years now. Maybe, yeah, I would say close to 10. No, maybe closer to 8 years now I've been flying this plane. It first started on Aerosoft on my iPad, and then eventually moved into here in X-Plane once this plane became available, once I got X-Plane.
Terrain.
30. 20. 10.
Oh, bitch.
10.
Alright, hey, well, it's under 300, and it's acceptable. So let's go ahead and just look at it real quick. I just want to see the wheels hit. It was almost center line. Well, it was pretty close to center line. We just, we didn't sit it down properly at the end. Yeah, I am fighting the plane a lot. I don't know why. The airplane continually wants to pitch up in the air. I think I'm going to go one more time. But yeah, I am fighting the airplane a lot. Yeah, I've been adjusting the trim. Alright, yeah, let's go one more time. Alright, customize. Alright, engines on. Change location. 10 miles out. And we are doing runway 18 again. It could be too much down trim. I didn't really touch the trim much on that last approach. I moved it down a little bit. Let me see where it's at. Okay, so trim is pretty much even. Okay.
Terrain.
We're good now. Oh, if I take my hands off the yoke, the plane's gonna go almost straight down. I can trim it up a little bit. Like right now, if I take my hands off the yoke like they are right now, we're pretty much flying even. Yeah, I'll trim up a little bit. There's no harm in trying it. All right, we need to get over to the left a little bit. All right, flaps are all the way down since we're on a short runway. All right, I think I see the runway finally. Let me trim down a little bit. Okay, there's the runway. Yeah, I've also had a few real pilots tell me not to use trim during landings either, so it's a touchy subject. I guess it depends on who you're talking to. Way fast.
Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate. Terrain. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Sink rate.
30.
Terrain.
30.
Yeah, I'm gonna go around one more time. I'm not looking at chat this time. I know you guys are trying to help, but usually looking at chat messes me up when I'm coming in for landing. So this time, no looking at chat. And if we land it, we land it. If we don't, we don't. I got to go after this. We did have one good landing tonight on this airplane. Hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit better. But yeah, but this time I'm just keeping it at 700 feet above. Trim up a little bit.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
More trim.
Terrain. Sink rate. Terrain. 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 Sink rate. Terrain. Sink rate. Terrain.
That should be okay. Power.
Ricky. 20. 10.
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. Not unless I should do one more. Maybe I should just do one more. Now that was pretty good. That was a pretty good landing. That was pretty good. But we gonna go one more time just to see if we can get below 300 again. Just to see. That was good. That was pretty close to center line. I will take that. That was good. See, when I don't look at chat, I usually land much better. Something about, I don't know what it is, but something about it, I've always been this way. Something about looking at chat and trying to interact with you guys while I'm landing. I just always like, I don't say always, but most of the time it's a bad landing.
Sync rate, sync rate, sync rate, terrain, terrain, sync rate, terrain, sync rate, sync rate, sync rate, sync rate.
All right. Laps 15. Go over to the left a little bit. Increase our power a little bit. Let's go flaps 35. Don't see the runway yet. I almost see it. No wonder we've had such a more difficult time setting the plane down tonight. We have like a 16 knot tailwind. No wonder. We can just blame it on that. All right, runway, where are you hiding? Where are you hiding, runway? I know you're around here somewhere. Oh yeah, there you are. There you are. Precious. All right. We go.
500.
I think if I flew this plane like every time and just didn't fly any other planes ever, I'd probably be buttering most landings, I would think. Like if this is like my main airplane and I don't fly anything else ever, maybe just like a different plane on the weekend and just fly this like every day.
Terrain.
Yeah.
Terrain.
All right, we'll take it. All right, that's about it for the show tonight. I will hopefully be back tomorrow with an F-28, but that was fun. Unless we just do another Dash 8, which we may do. I don't know. Maybe I'll have the camera on tomorrow night. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. It was nice catching up with a couple of you guys. Grandpa, I'd never seen you before, but it was nice chatting with you for a minute. And I will see everybody on the next episode of the Airplane Show. Hope you all have a good Tuesday. That's about it, my friends. I will see y'all later. See you.